We're 5 months into the global pandemic, and there are still unemployed Texans telling us they've never received a dime in unemployment. The reason? They cannot get through to the Texas Workforce Commission. And the phone is the only way to reach the TWC if you have not been able to successfully file benefits online. Last month, we delivered the TWC 111 names of Texans who reached out to us saying they could not get through. After our report aired last week, we had another 300 people all across Texas who contacted us saying they too were having trouble getting calls answered at the TWC. Investigator Jody Barr went before the TWC's top bosses on Thursday to ask why these problems persist.
Well, the TWC's 3-member board met virtually here. We asked for interviews with those commissioners to find out why, 5 months into this pandemic, people are telling us they still cannot get through to anyone with this agency. I asked each of you for an interview several days ago, but we did not get a response from any of the 3 of you, and that's what's brought us to this meeting to try to get these questions asked and hopefully answered. Because of the pandemic, we couldn't do this in person. Here are the questions we would like for the 3 commissioners to please provide us and the public the answers to. We signed up to question the TWC during this public comment section of this public meeting in Austin. After hundreds of new tips hit our inbox in the past week, we wanted the agency to answer for why so many people still can't get through. We're now 5 months into the pandemic. You've opened 8 call centers, put more than 1,000 call takers to work. Those call centers are open 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. Why are people still unable to contact these call centers to get their unemployment problems taken care of? We aired an update last week where your agency said the best advice to those people still having trouble getting through to the call centers today is to just keep calling. We got 300 new complaints just in the last week from people across the state of Texas having the same problem, and it's simple, they cannot get through to the call centers. Is there no other answer than to just keep calling? Is it acceptable 5 months into this for these people to still be falling through the cracks?
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
None of the 3 commissioners answered any of our questions. Those 300 new names we mentioned, we're working now to compile those with the contact information and deliver those to the TWC. The TWC tells me their call centers will call all 300. Governor Greg Abbott appoints each of these 3 commissioners and has oversight authority over this agency. I've asked the governor for an interview several times over the past few weeks, but Governor Greg Abbott has never responded. From the Texas Workforce Commission for the state of Texas, I'm Jody Barr.
Unemployed Texans now face a new problem: fraud. Some people filing claims are finding out that someone pretending to be them has already tried to collect money from the state. Wes Rapaport met one man who learned that scammers used his personal information.
It's that sinking feeling where you got, oh, great.
That feeling for Sean Aragon wasn't just from losing his job earlier this month. It came when he applied for unemployment benefits from the state, then learned someone else had already tried 2 months earlier.
They said, well, sir, you already have filed twice with us, so this is not a new account. I go, ma'am, no, I didn't file twice.
He's got company. The Texas Workforce Commission has logged more than 3,500 identity theft cases this year.
This is a small number, but a big deal for the people that may have their identity or unemployment insurance benefits stolen.
TWC says it has a tool to detect high-risk suspicious claims when they're submitted, but it doesn't catch every fraud case.
So employers are encouraged to respond to suspicious claim filings immediately. This will allow the Office of Investigations to analyze the claim to determine if it's a single fraudulent claim or part of a larger scheme and stop as many of these attempts as possible.
The agency's investigators also audit the system proactively to check for scammers. In Aragon's case, they spotted suspicious behavior before the fraudster could get the financial payout.
How many people out there that weren't so lucky, And they have those charges sitting out there right now that they don't know about.
The Texas Workforce Commission says penalties for fraudulent behavior may include fines up to $4,000, even jail time. Reporting in Austin, I'm Wes Rapaport for State of Texas.
Thanks, Wes. The Workforce Commission has a hotline to report fraud and program abuse. The number is on your screen. It's 1-800-252-2642. He's a social media star with millions of followers. How his work now could help the state in the fight against COVID-19. Texas Democrats did not get much camera time at their party's convention, but still found a way to send a message.
In Texas, we're standing up for fierce women like my mom and my tias who raised me to never back down.
Some Texans made memorable moments with their short time in the spotlight.
Only big government can get away without being held accountable. So that's why we want to move in the other direction.
And it's not just a two-way race for president. The idea is one candidate hopes will get Texans to vote libertarian.